Alright, what is up, everybody? I am the Night Owl. Thank you for being here. Big special shout out, thank you to all the archaeologists far in the future combing through ancient YouTube videos to see the greatest moments in all of human history. Thank you for stumbling across my channel. I hope the air is breathable in your time. Glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here too. We're going to do the Dominaria United draft. Now, full confession, I've done a couple drafts since my last recorded video. Um, the last one I tried to record, I thought that I was maybe just super tired or something like that. Like I felt like crap and my commentary was just awful. Like I was just like spacing out. I later found out that actually my roommate was getting sick, not COVID, but I think that my body was fighting off the illness because I was just spaced out, and not even like a funny way. Like I could like show you guys. Like it was just like, what was I talking about? Um, well, let's figure out what I'm talking about here. Battling Mystic is kick discard your hand and draw two cards. Interesting. I don't know if it's good. Nail. I like this card a lot. It might be a good way to start. I mean, this is like, I guess, I mean, this is like a welcome turn kind of welcome block. But so is it better to like start with something like this, or like start with the multicolored green blue card with the high power level? Looking at the commons, none of these seem well. Actually, there's Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike is a good way to start a draft. Is it better than Nail? Is it better than Nail? Maybe. Maybe. Is it better than Battle? I actually don't know how good this card is. Like, I think that the draw two is probably nice, but like in more aggressive decks, you kind of end the game with cards in your hand. And Blue Red's kind of an aggressive deck, so I think it's between Nail and Lightning Strike here. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Um, I actually think I'm gonna start with Lightning Strike. I'm gonna start with Lightning Strike. I've found that like while multicolor is definitely, oh my god, Llanowar, what this must have been a really good uncommon. Llanowar and Green Widow's really good. Um, I found that while you can like really go in on multicolor strategies in this format, like it's not like free. Like it's like you still have to pick a bunch of lands, which kind of lowers your power level a little bit by like you miss out on other picks by prioritizing the lands. Also, it just gets awkward. Like even as many lands as you can play, like they do have a cost. They come to play tapped, and it still hurts. Like it just because you can pick up the mana fixing doesn't mean that things just always work out smoothly. And so I've had a little bit of trouble like trying to stretch my colors a little bit too far. It's good to like try to figure out what you can do. Anyways, this it's like I like Atlanta or Green Widow. Sprouting Goblin's an options if seeing as I'm picking a green card anyways. This like be a good red green card. Like I'd be fine with that. But Green Widow's great. Um, all pretty much all of the cards. This is just a good pack. I think Talus Lookout, Shadow Prophecy's all really good. So I'm passing a bunch of good green stuff or whatever. Voldivian Atrocity. I think this card's fine. It's not insane or anything. Um, the whole pack is a little weak. Could go for Queen all in all. I think this card's okay. Um, it's really color intensive, but it can get really big. And if you are doing the token thing, I mean, just like adding to the board is really a lot. I think I'm gonna take it because it's the green card to go with my Green Widow, but maybe that's not a good reason. Maybe I want like Phyrexian Rager. I think Rager's like the best common here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think, but if I'm taking an off-color card anyways, it's not like this card is incredible. And this could go better with like the Lightning Strike, like maybe I got like a Jund thing going. Yeah, I'm gonna take this for now. That might have been wrong, but we'll see. Some decent white cards. There's an Outrider. So like fine red cards as well. I do want to lean red because I do have Lightning Strike. I don't have to go into it. Nothing black to speak of really. So it's one of the white cards, and I think if I'm gonna, but none. I don't actually don't like any of these white cards that much. The best one's probably Coalition Sky Knight, decent. Um, and List is like impressed me a little bit. I think I'm gonna take Steel Crusher. Um, I think it's most important to fill out your cheap slots. Even though I look like I could go like in a domain direction, Outrider is really good though. I tend to regret. Actually, I think I'm going to take Outrider. So you typically don't need to prioritize 5 drops over 2 drops and stuff like that. But of the 5 drops that you could get for a domain style deck, Outrider is just one of the best. This card's incredible. It's often like a 4/4 reach Lava Axe. I mean, it's just like insane. As opposed to what was really a pretty replaceable 2 drop. Yeah. Here I think I'm going to take Keldon Strike Team. So this might actually just be the best card in the pack, period. This card's really good. Um, it, even just like on its front end, like a 3-mana 3/1 haste is like an acceptable creature. It's like not insane. Like it'll trade off with like anything cheaper than it. It'll trade off with basically anything, but it's not bad. And sometimes they can't trade. And then if you do get the kicker, like it creates this huge board, and it's even like a good defensive board. Like if I need to like do a bunch of blocking, creating 3 bodies, 5 power, really good. Other options are Badger, which I think is decent. Writhing Necromancer if I wanted to lean the black card, but I think Strike Team is like the best card by enough, and it looks like white is kind of open, and I'm already leaning the red card, so I like that pick. Here we got Gaia's Might, probably better than Snare Spinner and Sojourner. I look vaguely aggressive, don't have to be, which means Snare Spinner is less exciting. I don't really need to pick up Sojourner here. It's Shadow Prophecy, go with my black card, because I could just splash the Green Widow, and that's fine. It's not Yosha Declares War, it's not Smash at Us. It's also Cavalier if I want to go with it, because white's looked open-ish, and so I think I could pick Cavalier and that would be fine. And I think I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to miss any of these green cards. Well, actually, maybe Gaia's might, but it's fine. So this seems like a weird, because I already have cards in other colors, but white has seemed open, and I'm not like married to Phyrexian Rager, and Green Widow is perfectly splashable, so I just deleted my Rager, or where did it go? Here I think it's Flowstone Infusion. I'm looking red the most. Strong card. It's good. Where the heck did my Rager go? Well, I just have to remember it's there now. What the heck? Okay, so we have Phalanx, which is pretty good. I kind of underrated this card, but I mean, like 2 creatures, like a 4-mana 4/4 Vigilance is like, you only need 2 creatures on the board. That's nuts. Alternatively, there's Rootwalla, and I think I'm going to take Rootwalla because but between the cards, I want to play the Green Widow. Like I do want to play the Green Widow more than like the Cavalier, and I can just splash the thing on Strike Team. And I think that Rootwalla is enough better than Phalanx here that I'm going to go for it. Could still be white though. So Sunlit Marsh, which I do kind of need to start leaning into lands if I want to have like some of these domain payoffs work out. That is true. Maybe this is a good opportunity to take that, but I think we're just gonna take Bog Badger because it's just not really the right land no matter like what mana situation I'm shaking up to look like. Other options, Herbalist, if I want to like start here, keep going in the right direction. We'll go with the Bog Badger. Second Bog Badger, Shadow Prophecy, Gaia's Might. So pump spells are interesting because a lot of your creatures have Enlist, and so Enlist makes it so that one of the big, I think I'm going to take the Gaia's Might here by the way. So one of the big wins with Enlist is that, or I should say with pump spells, is that I guess the Rager's here, it's hiding somehow. Well, this is not what I need, is the Colossal Growth. I still take Broken Wings. So one of the big wins with pump spells is that like you can reliably attack into big blockers with smaller creatures and actually like get through in combat. But when your creatures have Enlist, you just don't need to do that as much because your creatures kind of take care of that on their own. See what I mean? I don't like Relic of Legends. I'll take Tortoise. I don't look like I'm playing this Cavalier. I got another Badger. Smashed it. I was probably not playing that. This, it shouldn't bother me this much with this Rager just vanishing. It's just killing me. Leafcrown Visionary. I don't think there's even a lot of elves, so I don't really want to take that. But this pack is really bad for me. There's basically nothing. Lightbreaker Baloth. I'm not excited about that. I don't need to fill up the 5-drop slot, but it's probably better than Molten Monstrosity. Well, if I have even 3 power, then I mean this is just as much as Linebreaker Baloth. It's 5/5 and it gets smaller from there. I have 4, it's like a 4 mana. Yeah, no, I'll take the Baloth. Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief. No, that's not really something you want to go for. Here's we got another Outrider or Deathbloom Gardener. There's Citizen's Arrest. I'm kind of too committed to green at this point for the Citizen's Arrest. I think I want the Gardener because I am looking to maybe splash some other colors a little bit at least. Goes good with bite downs if I ever pick those up. Not that the bite down really needs the help because I have big enough guys, so maybe I just want the Outrider. No, I haven't really been picking lands yet. This seems like a good opportunity to pick up a creature that can actually like help me cast some of these other effects. If I do want to splash like Strike Team, Badger, things like that. Might miss the Outrider, but oh man, this card's good. Fire Extinguisher Missionary. That's okay. So, a bunch of decent white cards. I feel like I'm maybe not in the right colors coming the other direction here, because like all this stuff, like I'm seeing like really good black-white stuff. Could take Garna. Garna's a splashable card. Other options, Viashino Branch Rider, which isn't bad. It's a little low impact. I think I'm going to take it, though. I really am trying to minimize on how much you really want to splash, especially with no lands at this point. I know I have the domain payoffs, but so I'm gonna want to pick some of them up. But all right, here I'll take another Flowstone Infusion. Yeah. So I can't remember if I finished my thought on the enlist, but yeah, basically with the enlist, like the enlist creatures punch through big blockers on their own, so like you really don't need to prioritize pump spells as much, but pump spells are still fine. That's where I was going with that. Here I'll take Balduvian Berserker. It's close between that and Kavu, honestly. Kavu's a really good beater, but this is really obnoxious sometimes. Don't really want the Smash Dust. I do need more 2-drops, though. I do need more cheaper creatures. We'll take the Berserker. I don't want to play like this Hexbane Tortoise. In fact, I'm going to put it on the board. I think it's bad. Alright, I know I just said I need more 2-drops, but Coalition Warbrute is like way better than Goblin Picker. So I think I'm going to take you here. I'll punt the 2-drop pick. I might come to regret that. But it's just enough better that I'll try to pick up my 2-drops elsewhere. Probably not Mesa Cavalier. Well, take Fire NATO. The other Warbrute could be good, but I'm pretty low on like actual removal. I have Flowstone Infusion and a Lightning Strike. A Broken Wings, kinda. No, Fire NATO. Yeah, I really need to fill out the 2-drops. I'm glutted on the 3-drops. Probably won't play this Tortoise. Okay. Well, still pack 2. I have no lands as of yet. What cards do I have that care about domains? Ruwala? Though it really doesn't need it. Even just a +2/+2 on this makes it really difficult to fight in combat. Yeah, this looks like a pretty easy Haunted Mire here. Let's support the Badgers, support the Green. So I definitely want it for Green Widow. Yeah, supports the Badgers, supports the domain on that. Yeah, Haunted Mire would be good. Don't need another pump, don't need Crusher. Good spot to pick up a land. I also don't look like a Jodas Codex deck. I'm just too aggressive. Boy, I don't like any of this. I really don't need Librarian because I have so many 3s. I probably won't play the Meteorite, but I think I'll take it because I might. Vanquisher's Axe is kind of the other option. I suppose it could be Molten Monstrosity, but I just don't really need to try to get that deck. So I'll take the Meteorite because what this will allow me to do is if things do go in a certain way where like I really need the color supported, then I have it, even though I don't really intend on playing it right now. Colossal Growth. Yeah, another pump will do. Ruwala doesn't really need the pump. Yeah, the Enlist guys don't. Oh, Garnet came back around. Well, okay, this will be nice. I'll probably end up splashing the Garnet then. It looks like maybe I should have been red-white, possibly. I could have had a Citizen's Arrest and like some decent white cards have come in front of me. Whereas like I'm mostly right now, like I have the Green Widow, which is good, but to destroy evil, maybe. Oh, Coffin came back. Wow, alright. Probably only play one of the Badgers at this point. What are you doing over here? Toxic Abomination. The Cruelty of Gix, huh? This card is good. I think I'm going to take the, well, man, there's actually a lot of cards for me here. There's the Sprouting Goblin, the Lightning Strike, the Strike Team. I want like all of this. I think it is so important that I just start to fill out my 2-drop slot a little bit more, though, that Sprouting Goblin's going to be the way to go. Plus, it'll help fix me. Um, so I think it is important enough to miss on the Lightning Strike. There's also the Bog might come back around. Mossbeard Ancient, that's fine. I don't really like expensive spells in this format, so we'll go with that. I want to shove a Brawler. Yeah, or Strike Team, or Peaks. Well, I think I just need the 2-drops more, right? Like, again, I'm so cluttered. Strike Team is really good, but we'll take the 2-drop here. Yeah. A Tail Swipe, huh? Or Rada. Or Strike Team. Well, I got some good options here. Ridgeline. Tail Swipe. I think it's so important to get removal in the deck. I really want this Rada, but I think it's fine. Like I think that just having the removal spell is going to be stronger because what I got: Flowstone Infusion, Lightning Strike. I got a Fire NATO, I guess. I probably won't play this Meteorite. But this will be one of the few things that can like actually kill bigger creatures. So I think it's enough more important than Rada. Rada's fine, but Rada's like a hill giant, and then you attack with it, and another creature gets like a pump for a turn. Don't get me wrong, all of this is good, but it is like an attacking hill giant, which isn't like insane or anything. Like, so is this any good? Like I keep just return creature planeswalker. You get like one big attack in with a 4/4, you might like ping something. I have no other artifacts. Suppose I'll take Snare Spinner and not be excited about it at all and play it only if I don't have enough 2s. No, I'm going to take Warbrute. Snare Spinner just does not fit the plan. Another Tail Swipe. Or another Haunted Mire. I think I take the Tail Swipe. Should I be prioritizing the Haunted Mire more? I have one Garna. I have the Deathmoon Gardener. I have the Sprouting Goblin. It's so hard to pass Tail Swipe. I just don't think that's it. No, this is an interesting pick. I think I take Kavu. So I could take Gardener because again it'll set up a little bit more of my multicolor stuff. But I think Kavu is enough better that I don't really want this other Garna. Though Gardener goes really good with my Tail Swipes. But Kavu's such a beater that I think I'm going to take it. Jeez, and there's a Kavu. All right. I could take Vine Shaper Prodigy. I have no blue sources, though, so that's kind of bad. So maybe I don't want just this random 2/2, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I got to do it anyways. Do I take the third Kavu? I could just cut the Badger. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. Oh, Geothermal Bog, sure. That seems like the pick here. It's not Sunlit Marsh. It's not Stalker. It's not Hammerhand. I'll take a Bog. Okay, all right. Another Bog or another Keldon Strike team. Now, I have no white available to me at the moment. Do I want the third Bog? Yeah, I already have too many playables. Yeah, I should take lands, even though the Strike team's really good. Man, I got a Strike team. Look at this, rewarded. All right. Oh, dang. All right. Well, now I really wish I had picked up a white source. Wow, Artillery Blast. I'll take it. Wait. Between the two, there's a chance I play this. I mean, I really doubt it, but. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I wish I had picked up a white source. But I didn't expect to pick up like extra strike teams at the end. You know, if I had had those like strike teams instead of those Kabus earlier, I would have like prioritized it more. But I didn't, and so I don't. That's okay. So I think I'm gonna play one white source in between that, the Sprouting Goblin, and the Deathbloom Gardener. Make it work. Don't want Toxic Abomination. Don't want Fire Extinguisher Rager. Actually, let's get all this out. I do this every time. I'm like, I start to nitpick, and then I should like, oh, I should just build it from the ground up. Yeah, really glutted on the 3 drops, and so I'm a little nervous. But I have good removal. Or at least decent. We'll start with 2 Kabus. We'll start with 2 strike teams. We'll kind of figure that out. We'll start with 1 more Brute. I think the Fire NATO is probably going to make it. The Outrider. We'll wait on you guys. We'll see if I actually want these pumps. I'll also see if I want the Badger. Okay. So this is 21 cards. I think I might actually play the Meteorite just because it allows me to, again, later on, kick this. Now this does happen after I cast Meteorite, and then later I can play the Strike Team, so it's a little slow in that regard, but I think it's better than not having it. I think that helps me cast Garna, so it's an option. I'm only playing 2 of the strike teams right now. I have a third Kavu, a third strike team. Like pretty much all 4 of these cards right here could ostensibly make the deck, plus the Meteorite, plus maybe the Bog Badgers. I think Gaia's Might is better than Colossal Growth, almost certainly. The amount of times you give something Trample and Haste seems so low. Possible, but I suppose that is a slam, if I cast Nishova Brawler and then put this pump it all in the same turn, But the thing is then it's not really working as a pump, and so it's your opponent can maybe just eat the damage or something. I don't know. I already have 7 2-drops, so I don't really need to lean into the 2-drops, right? Or I'm sorry, 7 3-drops. I don't need to necessarily lean to the other 3 drops. I don't think it's the fourth or the second War Brute. I don't know what numbers are today. Jeez. Mhm. Yeah, I think I will play the Meteorite. Just make my life a little easier. Then I play the third strike team with the third Kabu. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I could play the Gaia's Might still, because what do I actually have for spells? I got 2 infusions, 2 tail swipes, and a lightning strike. Doing a 2-2 split here probably isn't correct. It's probably, if one of them's better, it's probably to do a 3-1, but I actually don't know which of those is better. So instead I'm going to do the wrong thing and split it, I think. And then I think I am going to play the Gaia's Might, because I actually don't have as much to punch through as I thought I would. I mean, I got some stuff, I got some spells, but I think Gaia's Might will do good work here. Goes good with my Kabus because of the menace, encourages the double block. It goes good with the Berserker. Yeah. Do I actually like that? I really wish I had another 2-drop. If I had another decent 2-drop, it would absolutely be the case that I would play that. Or should I just play another beater? Nah, I think having punch through ability is just too important. It's not like I got a bunch of enlist guys. The ones I do, it's Linebreaker Bailoff is big, Coalition Warbrute, but yeah, we'll try it like this. The cheap end of my deck is a big liability, and so I'm really not excited about that. I'm just kind of hoping to put on mid-range pressure. So with that in mind, is what can I do to kind of improve things? Because it's I'm like an aggro deck, but I just ain't that fast. The thing is, I don't think there's anything really. I think I just gotta roll with it like this. So I'll add these, and then I will add 1 plains. I don't think I'm gonna bother adding an island. I won't get 5 domain, and that's fine. I'll live. I don't need to play a single island to maybe get the domain on there. It's unnecessary. Do I want to swamp? Not really, because I have 3 sources already, and Sprouting Goblin's really kind and will find just a basic land with a basic land type, so the Sprouting Goblin can find my black sources. So swamp doesn't really seem necessary. So I have 13 lands. I'll probably do 7 and 6 in favor of red. Well, how many? If I do 7 and 6 in favor of red, that gives me what, 9 and 7. 7 green sources enough? Not really. So what if I do 6 and 7, and then I'll have 8 and 8? I kind of want more red sources than that, but not really. I only need one. I guess Kavu wants me to have multiple red, but because my 2-drops are green, I really want to. If I'm gonna play my 2-drops, I need green sources. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 6 and 7 in favor of forests and do an 8-8 split source wise. So yeah. 6, right? I couldn't math for a sec. Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll try it. I think the deck is okay. I would like to trade it. I mean, I keep saying it, but I'd like to trade. Like if this line breaker Bailoff could have been like another 2-drop, I'd feel way better. But it is what it is. Cool. Boy, I have like no card advantage, huh? I think I just have to go with it though. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, cool. See you for round 1. Excellent. Round 1 it is. We're on a red-green domain. It's a hand. Do I just jam the goblin? I don't know. It depends on what I draw here. Not really thrilled about that, but I have a bunch of 3-drops. I'll put a mulligan. I also don't necessarily need to find like a color source because I got my meteorite, but I also only got 2 lands. Hard to say. Okay. Well, let's throw a mountain. Opponent mulliganed. What's the play team? I don't think I'm so aggressive that I just need to jam this 2-drop. I think that's what's up. I'd rather just go goblin and get the planes. Yeah. Well, I drew my planes. Well, I almost wish I had just cast it now. That's alright. So I think we're going to still just go Sprouting Goblin. How are you doing? Yeah, kick. Alright. I saw I was trying to tap these too. I forgot that like you like choose beforehand. I was like, what, you just not going to let me kick? And get the Geothermal Bog because I'm red sources. I have the mountain, but it's like you need a bunch of like Kavus and stuff. 3 colors for my opponent as well. Oh, sure. Okay. What are we doing? Okay. They don't want to block. They don't have lifelink, do they? No? Okay. Well, I got a bunch of cards. So I think I am just going to attack with the Goblin, maybe. And then I'll cast Kavu. They could do the Enlist and then like try to attack. It's fine. Like if they want to block, I'm totally a piece. Sure. And play Geothermal Bog, Kavu. I kind of like my spot. Meteorite will actually kill a real spell here. Strike Team's going to be really good. Though maybe I'm kind of overrating Strike Team in my deck because I'm not aggressive enough. Like looking at it, the 1/1s are going to be very blockable when I make it. It's still really good, but it's just gonna be tough to attack with the 1/1s. I was looking to see if that enters tap. That does not. Doubtful I'm going to use the mana though. Do I block this? Oh, this is interesting. Oh, they're figuring out Enlist. Okay. Yeah. I actually don't know if I block. I think I do. No. Well, they put 1 on top, so I'm taking 4 here, going to 16. Do I just let them do it? Yeah, I think so, actually. I'm gonna attack back. Like they can't block Kavu. Oh. They discarded Bite down before I tried to block. Okay. That was a play. What could that be? Rager? Okay. Right. They're gaining life. So maybe I don't really want to destroy the Guardian here with the Meteorite. Do I think I do Strike Team full swing. And then, I mean, if they want to block a 1/1, they're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, going to 11. Now I'm staring at a bunch of damage back. Alternatively, I could go Meteorite, and then on my next turn, that'll give me 7 mana, because I'll have 5, 6, 7. And so I could go Strike Team plus Rootwalla, something. And the Meteorite actually, like, kind of gets me out of a little bit of trouble. Also, I kind of want to kill Ellis Ilkor, because I don't want them, one, to death touch my bigger creatures, and also I don't want to do it to Guardian New Benalia, because they can just do the discard, which is, like, fine, but it's like if they want to discard a card to it, that's okay, but it's not great. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. We'll Meteorate on this. I suppose I didn't need to do this on my main phase, but I'm going to discard a card right now. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to try to make them think I'm going to do this. I could have done it to Rager too, but I want to get this off the table. What is happening? What could that be? Oh, oops, indeed. Alright. Then Kavu gets the pump here. I don't know, my opponent just threw away their hand, like, for no reason. Okay. Rootwalla is going to be good too on the upcoming turns. I'm about to, like, empty my hand and just have nothing but mana to spend on making Sunbathing Rootwalla just a gigantic monster. It's going to be functionally a 6/6. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, well, 3 lands. Oh, Fire NATO. It's actually going to be pretty good. And this will not tap my mana poorly. I have the Meteorite still, so yeah, this will be fine. Oh, I should have cast Rootwalla first. I screwed up. Then again, I kind of don't want to attack with Rootwalla because, like, everything else, like, attacks through this, and the Rootwalla will live. So, like, if they wanted to trade, I mean, it's yeah, it's possible it might have been right to just lead back Rootwalla anyways, but still, I should have left it. What do they got in the graveyard? Well, they got some fine spells. Yeah. They really don't have time to activate Soul Tender, so. We'll see what they do. Oh, okay. That's a spell. Huh. Okay. So I'm not really scared of any of their effects, so I think I just attack with both of these. We'll see how they block. If they, like, double block here to, like, get the menace, I'll just trade with Acolyte, and that's fine. I could have, like, I guess made Faith's like Fire NATO, but I don't really want to do that because then I can't pump the Rootwalla. I think this attack is just a little bit better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll go like that. Well, actually, I can kill the Guardian this turn. So I go red, red, kill that. And then I have 1, 2, and then I still have 5 to cast Bailoff. No, I think this is better. Yeah. I think that's better. Don't have to worry about that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. Wait, 1, 2. So I have what? So yeah. So I think I just attack with everything. I suppose I could have pumped. Oh, I think I could have killed him actually. Yeah, I screwed that up. I could have killed him. I could have pumped Rootwalla, attacked with Bailoff, enlisted, and then I would be getting in for 10. Oh, they can't. Well, they die anyways. Yeah, but I got to slow down a little bit because that was an interaction that would have just resulted in straight up lethal. But that's okay. I mean, this game wasn't like really particularly close. Opponent made some strange choices there, just throwing cards away. It's not great. We take those. All right, I'll see you for round 2. All right, here we go. Round 2. Yep, this is hand. Oh, opponent sleeves. Yo, alright. I frankly hate that. How the dragon just like, the flies pops up in your face. Not a fan. Root Wallet, get in there. Let's go. Opponent starts with a red-white land. Scary. Oh. Well, first thing we do is attack. And then Sprouting Goblin. The question is, what does the Sprouting Goblin get? I think they get a Plains. Right? Like, I could get the Black Source, but the reason I want to get the Plains is because both it, like, fixes my colors, but then it also, like, gives me an untapped land to play, and I think that that's a little more important. Oh, Lacrimose, okay. Yeah, great. Deluxe. Lightning Strike, that's pretty good. So Branch Rider, so I think I'm going to just attack with both, actually, because what I'll do is if they try to block, I mean, they're not going to block Ruwala, they'll probably just block Sprouting Goblin. But, I mean, oh, okay. Alright, well, now I'll cast Warroot. And now my hand's really good. An untapped land really unlocks it, but even without it, I have a haste creature in my hand. I have Ruwala that can continue to smash. I have a lightning strike. You know, things can always go south, but I feel good about my position. I wonder if I'm supposed to take the 2 here from the elemental. I think I am. Oh, yeah, okay. No, I certainly am. Or no, why didn't I block that? No, that was foolish. I was thinking about something else. That's okay. So what's the move? I think I enlist Goblin and Warroot and attack with both of these. If they want to block here, this will be like I'll just eat it, right? And then I can follow up Linebreaker Bailoff or Outrider. Like if they want to just let me, no, see, I didn't think that they were gonna do that. Okay. Oh, I actually can't cast Linebreaker Bailoff. That's okay though. Outrider's perfectly fine. They should definitely attack with the elemental first. That's what I was thinking. I was like, just don't block. It's not good. It's just unimportant enough that I really don't need to block. and risk them having something, because like, yeah, where my head was at is like, I am so much the aggressor in this game that I just don't need to risk my creatures for 2 damage. Now it's more appropriate for me to take the 2 damage. What does this mean? Lightning strike? Some kind of pump? I don't think it's a wrath. I don't care. No blocks. Mm-hmm. Well, I have a lightning strike in my hand. This was actually a good draw, because what I can do now is play this with kick. Attack with everything, and leave the lightning strike back. I think that's the move, because even if they go block, they take 4. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to lightning strike them, but they're double jumping even. Yeah, we'll just go all attack. Yeah, it's fine. Did they miss on or no, they must have played it. I wasn't even watching. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, they're just dead, right? Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing that saves them here. Right? I'm not crazy? No. Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. So that game was a little more straight up. Yeah, Lagomos was not bad. It was not bad. Um, it did get a bunch of damage in, but the only reason it got a bunch of damage in was because I just really did not care about defense this game, because I had such a good aggressive start and they were slow enough that I was just really putting the gas on. Like if I had to back up and like just leave like Outrider back as like a blocker, like that's fine. Now it does open up the opportunity for them to like exchange it with something in their hand. But overall, I think this card's okay. Yeah. Cool, but deck worked out. It's like it did what I was worried about not having my 2 drops. When I drew them. So as long as I can continue to do that, I think I'll be in good shape. So yeah, we're 2-0, round 3. All right, round 3. Here we go. Yeah, sorry for the slight misplays, guys. I mean, like it's gonna happen. Like I'm not gonna pretend like I don't normally make misplays. However, oh boy, this hand. I think I keep it. Um, I'm kind of tired right now. I've been like, it's tough. I've been recording these after work sometimes, and it's like I record these and I'm like, all right, straight to bed. So I'm pretty tired when I make these. So sometimes I do some goofs. Well, planes, okay. Well, opponent's off to a good start. Kind of like it better than mine. I could play Brawler as a 2-3 or Rootwalla as just the 2-2. Yeah, I play Brawler because if I draw a Mountain, like this is just a much better play. I'm not going to be pumping the Rootwalla until I draw multiple lands anyways. Really hoping to see some lands here, though. Oh, yeah, all right. Fine Wall's okay, but it like mostly just cycles for a land a lot of the time, and then like the 0-2, it's not nothing, but it's also like not a lot. Now, do I cast Gardener or Kavu? I think I cast Kavu. Though Kavu's a lot worse on this board with a bunch of Vine Walls, because if they play a reasonable blocker, like they actually, this is one situation where like they like fighting the Menace dudes actually is kind of good. I'll cast Kavu. It's fine. I think it's better than Gardener. Gardener doesn't actually, like, 4 mana doesn't really actually do anything on this board exactly. So I'd rather cast the more aggressive creature. Wow, look at my opponent. Yo, okay, my opponent's deck's nuts. This is actually incredible. I think I just slam. To damage. Cover number 2. Yeah. This is actually wild. That is one reason to play Vine Wall. Are they going to go right up to 3, I wonder? Or are they going to go to 2? Right up to 3. All right. Interesting choices. Okay. I still have 2 cards in hand. Oof. Yeah, you can do that. Kind of a good draw, actually. So I think I just slam. What? I'll play the mountain first. Um, we'll see what they do. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Do I want to lightning strike that and like get through? No, because they're taking so much damage that they're taking so much damage that I think that having the lightning strike to shoot them is actually going to be good. I actually think what I'm going to do. Well, so they could have flowstone infusion, or they could have. This is the problem with Kavu is that they could have flowstone infusion, or they could have Urborg, whatever, and shrinking my guys down to 2 is like actually kind of bad. I could lightning strike the chaplain, and then what'll happen is the chaplain will die, and they'll actually take 2 additional damage because of the trample, and then they don't have the chaplain to stop the Neshoba Brawler anymore. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I hope I don't regret this. Yeah, because this says trample. That was a little aggressive, but I think it was good. This is any target, right? Yeah, I also have like a shoot them for 2 in my hand. Pretty good. They have effects. Ah, yep, see. I feel like a genius now. Man. What is opponent up to over there? We'll see what they do. Mm-hmm. 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 So that's already killing 2 birds, so I don't need to pump that. Now they're taking 1, 2, 3. I'm tempted to pump the other Kabu for 1. A little risky. Yeah, so we'll definitely go like this. So they're taking 1, 2, 3. If I pump it for 1, then Meteorite is lethal on a follow-up. Is it worth it? Not really. Well, yeah, I could pump it for 1 and cast Gardener. If they Flowstone Infusion it, that seems unlikely. They could have another Tribute. But if they had a Tribute, maybe they would just like double block and then like Tribute this one. Like they wouldn't set up the triple block, right? Is it worth it? I'm losing this. Then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we're gonna do it for 1. That's fine. Right, because now they have to gain life. The Meteorite's just lethal on the next turn, so they have to gain life this turn. Oh boy, if this is the 5/5, it's not. Okay. All right, we'll see how they live through my combat. We'll see how they live through my combat. Okay, all right, cool. We got there. So opponent actually seemed like they had a good deck. I did not expect the Wingmantle Chaplain. Like that was solid, but luckily I was putting on enough pressure that I was able to like punch through it. This was really aggressive to just like spend this as a like 2+1+1s. Not unreasonable. I'm not going to say it was like a bad play, but it was aggressive. Like that's expensive for expensive by that I mean like spending a card on that. It's a lot. It's a lot. But this card, so I talked about the defenders in the last draft I did, I drafted defenders. This is like the best payoff by a lot though here, because it has all of my problems that I have with defenders, like this doesn't have. Like, so a lot of the defenders don't have any power, so that it's like, okay, like you have like the academy wall, the 0/5, and you could block a 3/3 for like a while, but then like eventually like something pumps it up and it turns into a 5/5 or something like that. And it's like the fact that it didn't have any power and actually get that creature off the board, it becomes a problem when that creature that can later then can attack through your defender. This doesn't have that. You make a bunch of 1/1s with power and you can actually like block. Also, it goes wide, so it can block a million things. Also, it actually like single-handedly creates like a threat that that will kill your opponent. So like, as opposed to like walking bulwark, for example, like you have like again like two academy walls and a walking bulwark. Well, if they just send a removal spell at your bulwark, then your academy walls could like never win the game. But Chaplain doesn't have this problem. You create like four birds or whatever, and it's like, well, you're gonna have to like either have a sweeper or kill all the birds individually. Killing the chaplain doesn't do anything except they maybe prevent future birds. So maybe you still even have to kill this thing. All of the flaws with the defenders, chaplain does not have. So this is the best defender payoff by a lot. It's really good. Yeah, cool. All right, well, 3-0, great start. On to the fourth round. All right, round 4. Oh, we hit gold last time too. Golden. Such power. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. Do I just jam this branch rider? I don't know. Probably not, right? Like, the thing is, I don't really have a good follow-up to, like, a 1/1 haste, so I probably want to save this to be a 3/3 haste, right? Especially because I'm on the draw here. If I draw a 2-drop here, maybe. Well, no, I still don't think that it's where I want to be. Well, what I could do is cast Branch Rider. Next turn, maybe cast a creature, I infuse it. And then follow up with Strike Team later, and then Warbrute. Yeah, I think it will. Also, it does have the Power Pump ability, so I'm just going to get an infusion. If they just infuse this, I'm super at peace with that. Okay, that's fine. Blue-red. Haunting Figment, sure. Yeah, I heard you like Flowstone infusions. Ha! Alright. I'm into it. We strike. I heard you like haste, guys. Okay. They don't attack, which is fine. So I'm not going to attack either. I'm just going to cast Warbrute, and I'm going to start enlisting on here. Especially they're choking on mana. Really good for me. Well, that's less good. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, so I got a tail swipe. Like this. We'll see what happens. I think there's a good chance that they have something for this, but it's okay. Okay. Oh, I see. Well, I think I tail swipe that now. Target creature controlled during phase plus one of these creatures fight each other. Oh, so fight. Oh no, so I can fight right now. Actually, I won't do it. Oh, they conceded. I looked away. Somebody was calling me. Looks like a spam call. And my opponent conceded when I turned back around. Okay, yeah, cool. So that definitely worked out. I don't know what my opponent had in their hand, but it was gonna be tough for them because if they no blocker was gonna work because I had Jaya's Fire Tornado, and then I mean it would have to be something that could trade with the Warbrute anyways, and so that was already gonna be bad. They were about to take 4 here to be a 13, and yeah, I was in good shape. If they could kill the Warbrute, they had cards in their hand. I don't really know what they were looking at, but no, I was definitely in solid shape there. So wow, 4-0, good start. I'm pretty satisfied, even if I just like drop the rest of these. I mean, I'm pretty at peace with it because I don't think this deck is a 7-0 deck, but I have like basically no rares. Well, I have Gloom Widow, or what is that? It's not Gloom Widow. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But I just don't think this deck is a 7-0 quality deck. So being at 4-0 already, I'm pretty pleased. So see you for round 5. All right, round 5. Round 5. Feeling good. Am I still feeling good? Not really. I'll mulligan that one. What's his hand? We'll get rid of Garna. It's the least castable of my cards. Mm-hmm. Well, I like my hand. If I draw like another land, pretty good. Ooh, Toxic Abomination. Huh? Okay. Start with Brawler. Oh. Pretty aggressive use of that, my friend. Hmm. I might just Lightning Strike that now, because otherwise I'm taking a bunch of damage. Yeah. I also have a Tail Swipe in my hand. This is like really aggressive, but like I think the important thing to do here is preserve my life total, so it's fine. Sure. Um. Yeah, I think I just cast this as a 1/1. I'm not even going to attack. It's just like a blocker. Really need a land. Oh. This can't be right. I think I'm going to Tail Swipe right now. So because the Citizen's Arrest is going to kill it anyways, this will actually save me a bunch of life if I don't draw a land for a while. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm at peace with that choice. Warhorse. Okay. That's kind of a problem. We'll just go Kavu. Yeah. They only have one creature, so well, Phalanx. That's good. Well, I'm feeling less good about my spot. Like my opponent just played some solid dudes, and now it's like, well, I can't even like block basically because I could just sacrifice the 1/1. It's pretty bad. It's fine. One more red mana available, and I can do that. But so what do I cast here? I think I attack with Kabu. Kind of no reason not to. All right. Well, actually, I think maybe I could play this Kabu, and then I have some double blocks lined up. It's an option. I could also play Warbrute. But Warbrute doesn't actually like interact with anything better than the Kabu does. Really. And it just kind of exposes it more. Like if I go to double block at either of these, the double block ends up being about the same, but I trade my better Coalition Warbrute instead. Yeah, I think it's the play. And now I got double blocks set up for their attackers, which is kind of what I want. Now, I mean, that could be a problem. Like, I think it's going to be risky for me to double block. Double blocking is always risky. But I think that because of the size of their creatures, it's just kind of what I have to do. Now, if they want to sacrifice both of these, that's fine. All right, because this gets +2/+1. Yeah, this is, and so it'll go up to 6. They can absolutely do this. Yeah, no reason to do anything else. Yeah, okay. Oh, another one. That's kind of a problem. This card is really good. It's really annoying. So what happens if I attack with Kavu here? I'm wondering if I could trick them into blocking with something and then using the meteorite. Though that doesn't really work because they'll know that I can double pump anyways. Maybe I should just cast Warbrute. I kind of want to get the meteorite down though because I think playing Keldon's Strike Team with the tap is going to allow me to make a good defensive play. So can I even afford to attack with the Kabu? Because if I attack with the Kabu and play Meteorite, they get attack back for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So maybe I just can't. What do I think of that? Or I could play Warbrute. It's a little bit slower. No, I think I cast Meteorite. I'm gonna, I don't know what that was. I'm gonna cast Meteorite, kill one of the tokens, because now I can use the Meteorite to like pump this. People say nice. I don't know. I don't know what they mean. Griffin Protector. Oh, well. Okay, now they got a flyer. So do I trade my Kavu for the token? Probably not, right? I don't think so. Though I am under a lot of pressure. Kind of a good draw. Oh, you know what? I could have still attacked with the Rootwalla a couple games ago. I gotta remember how this card works. Okay, so I think I leave this back here for sure. The Flyers. I think I'm gonna die to the Flyers. All right, 2 blockers. How do I want to do this? If I block with all 3, the thing is it just kills all 3 anyways, and they don't have to make any sacrifices. Or if I block here and here, they'll only lose 2. They can make 1 sacrifice, but they can still make 2 sacrifices and save it. See how annoying this card is? It's so annoying. Alternatively, I could block like with these 2 here, like block on here, and just block these 2 on here. So I could go like Strike Team here, and then go like this here, and then they still can't sacrifice. They could trade the Kabu. I keep this looks a lot better. Resolve. Yes. Now I can activate the ability. They could sacrifice this again. I guess I still they'll sacrifice the Battlefly Swarm now. It's kind of bad. Yeah. So they clear my board and they have a lethal flyer and this thing. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Warbrute. I have to tail swipe the flyer. Oh, sure. Okay. I may have stabilized. We'll see. Well, maybe not. No, I'm dead. That's okay. So opponent had a good deck, double Citizen's Arrest. I mean, they were really aggressive with the removal spells, and then like I think that really I was just held back by like choking a little bit. I think if I could have developed my board a little bit faster, I wouldn't have been in such an awkward spot. Like I wouldn't have had to like burn Tail Swipe on a stupid 3/1. Like I could have killed Phyrexian Warhorse. I stand by the decision because otherwise, like if I didn't then draw out of it quickly, I was just gonna get the snot beaten out of me by a stupid 2-mana 3/1. Like it's like I think that I correctly used my resources, you know? Um, but it was kind of unfortunate how it worked out. Again, there's an argument that maybe I just take the risk of like getting beat up by that 3/1 until I could like draw something. Like this was a pretty aggressive use of this too. It's debatable. I think I had good reasons for making the choice that I did. It didn't really work out, and I don't know if that means it was correct or not. But that's what happened. All right, so 4-1. See you for round 6. All right, round 6. Let's go. I go first. I have all of my colors. Kind of a weird and awkward hand in a way, but I'm into it. I say that because it's like, okay, I gotta play the geothermal bog here. And then like both of these creatures kind of want me to like wait to play both of them. Like I don't think I just jam Branch Rider here, do I? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that the way that this hand is shaping up, I think it's going to be more valuable to me as a 3/3 later on. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. So I'm pretty sure I go Sprouting Goblin for a mountain here. Because that allows me to cast Garna next turn. I could get Berserker in play, but I think this is better. Yes. Oh, I actually can't cast Garna anyways. That was a mistake. Because my red source is also a black source. It's okay. I'll just do Kicked Branch Rider. They drew a card. I'll just block with the Rager here, that's fine. The opponent's setting up well. Bunch of cards in hand. Okay. Wow, it's a 3/4. What the? Oh, because they double kicked it. I'll probably just Gaia's Might it and then cast Berserker. So I'll attack a Branch Rider first. And then cast Berserker. And then the follow-up turn I can do Strike Team plus Gaia's Might. Well, they just block here. But they probably won't because I can just pump Branch Rider. Yeah. The Plains. Yeah. So I got a pretty solid turn coming up here. Uh-huh. Yeah. You gonna battle? This was not a good choice. Oh, Writhing Necromancer. Okay. Hang on. It'll leave a green untapped if I do this, right? Yeah. Yes. I think I enlist, right? Yeah. Go like that. Sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not quite. So instead they're taking 4, 5, 6, 1 to 7. I could pump Branch Rider to kill this, but I kind of want to leave it because. But then they're just going to have the Necromancer again next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to 7. I let them kill this, but then they got a bunch of blockers. But then I can like attack with Berserker and list again. They're at one. They're at wait what 6? So they go to 7, and then I can do the same thing. I can pump with Gaia's Might, and then like Berserker can just like one shot them. Yeah. Okay. Or root. And this has Death Touch, so it does anyways. Yes, cool. That worked out. So they could have had a removal spell, and that would have been kind of bad. So I definitely took a risky line, but I just like if I did trade with the Necromass on the with the Branch Rider, then like it would have been a lot more possible for them to just like block me up. I think maybe that would have been wrong. Like I could have done that, and then I still could have like done the pump attack with the Berserker. But then okay, so then I would only be like attacking for 4. They got well, this would have only been a 3/4 because because the Necromance died. But like they play like a better if they had like a better turn, like they play like a couple blockers or something like that. Like I just have like a lot less capability of like actually like getting the lethal damage through. Like it's like I could like even if they're at 7, like say I enlist, they block with something, trade, I shoot them for 4 or even 2 for 1 them. Well, they're either just getting a board going and are at 3, which is dangerous, or I like 2 for 1 them, but they're still at 7, and I got like these like 2/1/1s, and this 3/1's going to trade for this. Like it just seemed like the right maneuver was to try to like finish them with this and allow them to just eat the Branch Rider, or yeah, the Branch Rider, as awkward as it was. Didn't have to work out that way. I mean, they had a bunch of untapped mana, so I could have died there, but I didn't. So we're 5-1. Cool. See you for round 7. All right, here we go. We are 5-1. I just took a quick break, got a tea refill. Let's close it out. Let's close it out, team. Opponent goes first. This does look like a hand where I'll be casting the first turn Branch Rider. It's been a little bit better. This card's actually been a little bit better than I expected. Yeah, my coast, huh? Having the pump included is really kind of nice. Because the big problem with like something like a 1 minute, like just like a Raging Goblin, is that like it gets blocked to like immediately, and then you can't do anything. I mean, maybe they'll just play a 2-drop here, and it's a problem. But no, okay. I only have a single mountain. I can't do anything. I lied. All right, here we go. Essence Scatter. Yeah, okay. Oh, all right. I'm actually not scared of this, really. I think the game will be over by the time that it's a thing. I don't really want to do this, but I have no spells. So, yeah, like I could eventually lose this card, but I think if this card starts going off, I'm like already losing, kind of, so. Okay. I drew all of my 5-drops. Oh no. I suppose I could have left it back, but that just seems silly. Also, I mean, they're at a low life total. We'll see what happens. I gotta respect it. Yeah, I don't really care about getting attacked back that much. So they clearly intend on blocking. So I don't really want to attack because I want to cast one of my 5-drops, but they have a bunch of mana untapped. So it's like I don't want to attack, put mana into this, and then have it die. But I also don't want to just like jam a 5-drop into all this mana. I think I just cast Library of Baloth, though. Okay. Attacks. Oh, great. That was great for me. Now, this thing might have to die on this turn. I might have to Fire NATO that. Also, I'm hoping to get more colors before I cast Maria's Outrider, but I keep wanting to call this like Maleria's Outrider or whatever. No. Because I've been playing Elden Ring, and so it's like Millennia, or like, yeah, Millennium and Melina and all of that. What's the move? Well, I think I just attack with Baloth and Enlist. Oh. And blocks. Can't block with that. Alright, so I'm going to cast Outrider. Now, do I tail swipe this? I think I do. They can't bounce this? Okay. That's fine. Well, they're in trouble now. I have 2 lethal creatures. And a Fire NATO. Yeah, so I'll attack. I'm trying to decide if I want to tail swipe. I don't need to, but they could like block here and then do something to Baloth. So if they could do something to Baloth, they have to be able to do something to Baloth in order to win. So I shouldn't tail swipe, because if they can do something to Baloth, I don't want to do the tail swipe, and if they can't, well then they can't. So that worked out. That the 3/3 that they played is scary, but that's why I wasn't too scared of it. I knew that this game was going to be over one way or another before that actually like really came into play. You have like I had a million years to deal with that. The card's good, but this format I've found is not very grindy at all. It's like it's all about pressure, really. You do grind out to a degree. Sometimes I've had a couple games where I flooded out or my opponents flooded out. The vast majority of my games, though, both players are dying with cards in their hand. And so card advantage is important. Especially what I found is like almost more important is just like selection almost, like, because when you draw a bunch of cards, right, there's 2 properties to that. One is the raw resources. The second are the options that this allows you. And I found that the options are almost more important than the raw card advantage in this set, because it is fast enough and is pressure oriented enough that like it lets you find your colors of mana to like actually cast your off color spells. It gives you like a ton of like different like options in combat and things like that. And it just seems like as far as like card advantage goes, just like having the selection is almost it's more important. Um, at least from what I've seen. I also like, it's possible that there are more controlling decks that go up, like, and I just haven't seen this aspect of the format where it's like I'm playing a really controlling deck and my opponent's also playing a really controlling deck, and so you get into this like grind fest. But it really has not been anything like super grindy, like even close to it, that I've like seen like a lot of formats. So okay, we're 6-1. Let's hopefully we can close it out. No guarantees, but I'm feeling good. So yeah, on to round 8. Okay, round 8. Round 8. Do I have a hand? Yeah. Well, that seems like a fine hand. Again, I just have to accept that I'm not going to have 2 drops sometimes. Opponent's thinking about it. That's a good sign. Or maybe they're just adjusting themselves. Okay. All right. I accept. Hand's pretty good. Again, don't have a 2 drop. If I draw my root wallet here, I'm going to lose my mind. Probably not. It's, let me temper that a little bit. Goblin. Do I just jam the Goblin? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is actually a really tough call. And a better player than me might know this one and just snap it off. I have a bunch of 3 drops lined up, but I just, no, I need to find my other colors. Nah, it just doesn't seem worth it. Hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't. I'll go Kabu. Actually, do I want Goblin first? I could go Goblin, find Plains. I kind of want to do that on my next turn, though. Well, if I go Goblin and find Plains... So, no, I actually kind of want to do this because I think my next turn is going to involve casting a 3-drop and Tail Swipe, so I actually would go Goblin right now. I suppose my next turn could have just been Coalition Warbrute. That's okay. I made my choice. Now, do I block this Iconoclast? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, Keldon Strike Team. Okay. You have Trample, right? Yeah, because I think I'm going to go Kabu Tail Swipe, I'm going to block the Strike Team. Actually, do I want to go Kabu Tail Swipe? I think this is better. The reason I'm not sure about that, and I think I'm just going to jam Warbrute actually, is because they could have something that I want to Tail Swipe more. So we'll go like this. That's fine. Okay. What do you got? What do you got? Warbrute Strike Team is a really good combo, by the way. They missed. That or they I don't know, they goofed it somehow. Yeah. So we'll go Strike Team. So I think I'm going to enlist here and then attack with this one. They can trade if they want. Or no, I don't need to attack with that. So we'll go like this. They can trade here. Sure. Okay. I see no reason why this is scary. So they want to trade their Vine Wall for 2. I mean, maybe they got like something like they got like a Necromass. Could be Necromass. Oh, Fire Nado is really good because I think it is Necromass. Is there like a flash creature I gotta worry about here that I shouldn't attack with the 1/1s? I should make this a 4/4 instead. I don't think so. I think that just exposes me to removal a little bit more. I don't know. I got a bunch of cards in hand to not be casting spells, man. Tear Asunder. Yeah, okay. Don't really like that. Okay. Well, I'm kind of flooding out here. Oops. What is... Oh, were you supposed to... Do I risk the pumps? I think I do, actually. I think I just need to apply pressure before they get enough cards out of their hand. It's possible that this is bad. Yeah. Okay. Tail Swipe's actually really nice with the Kabu because it gives me another opportunity to pump up the damage. I can actually hit for 6 with the Kabu, which is a lot. You gotta be kidding me, man. Alright. And I flood out here. That's a heartbreaker. Jeez. Man, if I even had follow-ups, I'd be fine. That's very annoying. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can do both. That's good. I put you to 7. I actually could potentially hit for lethal, depending on what my opponent casts here. What? So I can't actually attack into that? It's the beginning of your end step. Okay. Well, I think I just have to serve, right? Like, they have to block. It's kind of annoying. Boy, I don't like my spot anymore, I gotta be honest. Well, that helps. Not ideal, though. I'm gonna keep the forest in my hand, because there's no reason to play it, and they might have discard effects. Like, I'm not 100% on what all discard effects are in the format yet. Gang? It's gonna be an annoying one to lose, I'll tell you. Oh boy, okay. Alright, it'd be sick, huh? Alright, it'd be lethal. Well, I got a bunch of removal spells. Really could use some threats. Attacking with this is dangerous. I mean, I use my branch rider, but I have another strike team. They don't know what haste things I'm capable of, you know? Then again, I mean, they might just like play some sick blockers here. That's a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay. This game is like my draw is not working out. Yeah. Okay. This is actually good. That's actually a really good draw. You don't trample, do you? No. Because I might be able to make the same guy as might. Oh. So I can make them sacrifice. So I could well, boy. I could play the guy's might on it, and it adds 4, and so I'll do 5, put him to 2. Or no, that's actually lethal. That's great. So yeah, resolve. Yeah, this works. I forgot I had the lightning strike in my hand. Can they do anything about this? Kill it in response. I still think this is the play. They're thinking really hard. I think if they had something to point at it, they just would. Bite down. Okay, so um, I got time to kill. So they're going bite down on this. What if I lightning strike that? Then we'll sacrifice both, and then I'll deal 2. Alternatively, I could tail swipe won't do it because they fight. I think I still lightning strike it. Right? So if I don't, they're gonna have the 3/1. I'm gonna have to lightning strike it anyways, basically. So I want to deal a bunch of damage. Yeah. Hmm. All right, let's see it. They might be able to get out of this. They got another kill spell. I'm gonna be so sad. Oh, well, that actually doesn't block. So they're gonna have to have something. Oh my god, he got out of it. Holy cow. That was getting tight. Like, oh geez. It just like it got so awkward. They had the wrath to like get out from under the pressure. And then like I just had all of my removal spells. I talk about this sometimes. I know like I've been doing this enough. I probably beaten some of these horses to death. But you'll hear me talk about often how like in your aggressive decks, playing spell effects, I mean, it's important, but this is part of the reason why I was like, do you remember when I was like in deck building, I was like, do I want this Gaia's Might or do I want another creature? This situation right here is exactly why I was debating that. Because if you have too many spell effects, when in situations where you need to apply pressure, you just look at all these stupid spells in your hand and you're like, well, I can't do any of this. Especially doubly true with things like Tail Swipe, things like Gaia's Might, things like Bite Down, not that I have one. The spells that rely on you having creatures, it's like one of those like quote unquote invisible costs that I think some players don't think about. And this is something like again, you want to up your game, think about this kind of thing. The number of spell effects you sneak into your deck when you need to be applying pressure is a cost. So you really have to think about it. And right here, you say it almost bit me. Clearly, I got out of it. Like the combination of Gaia's Might with Berserker was excellent and all that kind of stuff, you know. But I was staring at like a bunch of spells and had an opponent I had to kill, you know. And it's like, wow. And then if your opponent's like playing like a slow, grindy defensive deck, it just gives them enough time to like set up and get out of whatever trouble you could eventually get them into. So that's kind of what I was staring at there, and I was like, geez. I mean, well, you saw, you know. But hey, gang, we did it. We did it. 7-1. This deck felt pretty good. This deck felt pretty good for the most part. Again, I think I would have. Um, I think I would have liked more cheap creatures, you know. But overall, it was fine. Branch Rider impressed me this draft. Like it's not insane or anything, but actually it was like way better than I expected it to be. Um, the 3/3 haste portion of the card was actually like kind of nice. Like a 1/1 for one or a 3/3 for four. Neither of those are good, but putting haste on either of them is like fine. The 1/1 for one's a little weak, but then that it also has the pump. So it has like two different like modes plus the pump ability, which is actually good on both modes. I've gone up a little bit on this card. No, it's not like insane or anything. I'm not saying like high pick, but it's like it's better. This is better than I thought it was. It played a little bit better. Sprouting Goblin was obviously incredible. You basically, I considered playing this as a 2/2 a couple times, but every time I was glad I actually just waited and got the mana. It was worth it. Ruala, of course, is a great attacker. The Green Widow really did not have an impact on this draft. Did I even? I think I cast Green Widow one game maybe. I'll have to go back and look, but this was not a part of my draft really. Nor was Garna. I don't think I ever got Garna in play. Um, yeah, it was mostly just me beating them up with Kavus, which this thing this guy is such a good beater. I really like Flowstone Kavu. I mean, it's a little wimpy on defense, but maybe not always. It could trade up. The thing is, like, it has the ability to like punch above its weight class because I mean, it can start killing like 4 toughness dudes or even higher if you have ability to like put some more strength on it. And Menace on this is so threatening. So I've really liked this card a lot. The strike team, of course, was excellent. We learned a little bit about how this works. Maybe you guys already knew this, but yeah, I had to like get this ability wrong twice before actually figuring it out. I didn't really cast Gardener. That was fine. Michelle Roller obviously good. Um, Tail Swipe Beans and speed's like really pretty nice, though the fight effects are really awkward. I think so. There's a lot of there is a good amount of instant speed interaction in this set. One thing that I've noticed is that you have to take a lot of risks, and like listen, you always have to take a lot of risks in when you're playing Magic. It's just the nature of it. But for example, there's just like a lot of instant speed interaction, balanced removal, that kind of stuff, and then there's a lot of cards and abilities that make you want to like lean into these like all in moments where it's like, I hope this works. Like, so for example, tail swipe, I mean, you're something can happen to your creature. Guys might, something happen to your creature. Now there's always been fight cards, there's always been pumps, but like look at like enlist, right? Like you're like, oh, do I want to go all in on this one creature? But then if something happens to it, like that's like a big blowout. It's like you stop two of my attackers if I like use my enlist ability. So like, is that what I want to do? I don't really know. Um, so I've just found that there have been a lot of situations where like I've been like, I have to make this risky play here. So just some kind of something to consider. I don't really know what you do with that information. Like I haven't really like figured out like, this is how I should draft in order to like mitigate this like inherent risk that's in the set. But like there just seems to be like a lot of situations where you are rolling the dice on what your opponent's capable of doing. um, and then it's also true, this is like um, similar but different because of the multicolor nature of the set. When you're looking, I mean, that opponent there, they had like four, they might have even had all five colors. I'm not even really sure. And it's like, I don't know, like people are maniacs. Like they'll put, I know I'm really conservative about what I put in, like in my deck as far as colors go. Other people are not. They're lunatics, and so it's like you'll find that they could have anything in their deck, and they have all five colors. It's like you could have literally anything right now. I have no idea what you could be doing. And so it's like you can't even be like, oh well, my opponent's on like blue white, so they can only have these two effects. It's like no, they can have anything. And so it just is like there's just a lot of like inherent risk in the plays that you have to make. Um, but again, I don't know what to do with that information. I'm like looking at the cards. I'm trying to think of like what you do to like play in such a way that would like change that in any way. And I just don't really see anything. It's just kind of the nature of it, though. I'll think about it some more. It's something to keep in mind. Anyway, that was the draft. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna crack a couple packs here if you're interested in that sort of thing. If not, this was the end of the draft. But I'm just let me rip through some packs here. I have 8. I probably won't do all 8. Um, these go on long enough. All right, easy Defiler of Faith. But I like Micromancer a lot. There's actually a bunch of 1-mana spells that are like very appropriate to put in your deck. So this card's really quite good. There's some formats where it's like the 1-mana spells. It's like they exist, but you don't actually want to play them. In this set, they're like the removal spells. They're like Tail Swipe and Flowstone Infusion and Rona's Vortex and things like that. So Micromancer, really high pick card. It's good. Obviously, take the Defiler there though. Here, I don't like any of this. I don't think I'd want to first pick either of these cards, but I don't want giant. Like, there's no first pickable card here. If I had to pick, I suppose I'd take Tatiova because it's like the most reasonable on rate card, and then it kind of has the best ability once it goes off later in the game. But I'm not really that. I think that the early game decks are better than the late game decks in this format, from at least what I can see. I'm not really super interested in playing a deck that's like trying to go up to 7 lands. Like you end up there sometimes, but I think it's better to be on the other end of this. But I think it's like the best card. Like it could be Fire NATO, but like you don't want too many of these. It's too expensive. Though I will say actually it's kind of gone up a little bit in my estimation because like there are some number of bigger creatures that you do have to punch through a little bit. I'm thinking of like Writhing Necromass. Like pretty much all the black decks have a Necromass in their deck, and you have to get through it to a degree. So it's a little bit better in that regard. What else we got? What else we got? Well, in another universe, I would have started this draft with Battlewing Mystic, and I didn't this time. Here, it's clearly the Aether Channeler. All of the options on this are excellent. Like, it's like, how do you choose? Like, they're so good. The draw card is probably better than the 1/1 bird, I guess, but there are situations where it's not, and you just want the bird. And then, I mean, the bounce can, like, depending too, is like, you probably draw a card with this most of the time, and then contextually, you'll do one of the other things when needed. Then beyond that, I think I take Battlewing Mystic. because I think it is better. So I like Shadow Prophecy a lot. This would be the other option. Um, but I think that having, first of all, you don't need too many of these. You really only need to pick up one, maybe two of these if you're a super grindy deck and the life loss is a little much. Whereas this format is a lot more about having like a cheap beater that in the air that your opponent needs to deal with, and then maybe later it'll also give you some value, so I think this is like a much more about what the format's about. Though this card is good in the decks that are doing this sort of thing. And there's Kabu, of course. It's kind of my favorite red card, though. It's not like the best red card, but it's kind of my favorite. You know what I mean? Whoa, Joda the Unifier. Actually, let's read this card. Get plus X number of legendary creatures you control. So does that include Joda? Yeah. Okay. So he's a 6/6 actually. Cast legendaries for X cards in every library text and the legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. So it cascades your legends. I'm not really interested. More ambitious people than me can go for this one. This is not. If you're wanting me to like go in for this sort of thing, you're watching the wrong channel. It's please don't stop watching. It's just kind of not where I'm at. Though it is sweet when you do the thing. I'm not really gonna try to go off with this. Other options are Baird, Mossbeard, Ancient Keldon Strike Team. Keldon Strike Team might almost be better than Baird because you don't have to be red white, and you could also just splash the white source and it's more reasonable. Whereas like because you could always cast it if you don't get the white source. Whereas this is a full-on multicolor card, and it might even be that the Strike Team is like close to even better in the deck that it goes in, though this card is quite good. If you have you want to play like an equipment probably. It works with pumps, but you probably want an equipment. But I actually don't like the equipment. There's the axe and there's the sword, the Hero's Heirloom, and then the I don't know it's an axe. I don't know. And I actually don't want to play either of those cards really. I don't think they're great, and so like I don't really want to do that. I guess if I got a bunch of pumps, or maybe yeah, I'll have to look at the set and see if they're like other effects. I think Strike Team's almost better. It is definitely more reliable and it is less committed. So I think it's actually a better first pick here. You could pick Mossbeard Ancient, but again, I believe this enough. But I'm not going to start with the 7 drops. Boy, Joyride, just engineering counters and power. Okay, so this isn't a card. Here I like Sprouting Goblin. Kind of the same deal. It's just like a red card. The other option would be Bite Down, which is his removal spell, and you want to prioritize these. I'm not really impressed with Sprouting Goblin though. Hitting your land drops and like setting up your domain is really, really, really good. This is like kind of a better way to start a draft because this like kind of like gives you a lot of freedom and power later in the game, or I'm sorry, later in the draft to like have your deck function properly. So this is like a really good way to start a draft because like if you do end up with like splashing some black or splashing some white, this card will allow you to do that. And even just finding the land on its own is like really excellent. And it has the sacrifice of land ability to give you some more gas. I've actually been really impressed with Sprouting Goblin. I was just saying how you don't really want to cast it as the 2-drop version. So you want to kind of think of it as like a multicolored like green-red spell, but like it's nice that the option is there. Like that's way better than it not being there, you know. If you're not into it, take the Bite Down. But I recommend you take the Goblin. Here, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to beat Tail Swipe. Ass or Barrel Blades. Then the battlefield, top 7 cards of your library, reveal an equipment or vehicle card. Now, I'm already telling you I'm passing on this. No, thank you. There's just, I don't like the equipment enough. The vehicles are fine. I think there's 2, right? I think there's like 2 boats. Or is there only the 1? I don't remember, but there's only like 1 or 2, and I think that they're rares. I'd have to look. But anyways, this is like a constructed card maybe, even though I don't really think it's like I think it'd only be fine and constructed. It just I'm not interested. I'll take the tail swipe here. If you really love equipment, I guess go for it. But I'll give you a hint. I don't think equipment is a very good card type at all. It has to be really good for me to like it. Oh, probably Anointed Peacekeeper, right? Yeah, 3 mana, 3/3 Vigilance. Already, it's like going to be hard to beat this. Look at the opponent's hand, choose any card name supposed to be. Oh, and then it just makes one of their best spell really awkward. So really good body on it, and really kind of like makes their hand obnoxious. I like it probably better than Aaron, Aaron. We have a 3/3 Menace, probably better than a 3/3 Vigilance, and this ability is really good. Especially in the black-white deck. I mean, imagine this with like Phyrexian Warhorse or whatever, Captain's Call, all that kind of stuff. So this card is really excellent, but it is way more committed. It's probably better once you get it in play than Anointed Peacekeeper, though. So if you went for Aaron Benalia's Ruin, I wouldn't fault you for it. I think Anointed Peacekeeper is the more, I think this is the more high power card. I think this is the more reasonable first pick. But it's not so much like safer that like maybe you want to go for the higher power level here. I don't know. I think Peacekeeper's the pick. I wouldn't fault anyone for taking this, and I might even be wrong. It's not the commons. Last one, last one. Okay, so we have the Micromancer, Kelton Flame Sage. 2/3 enlist, like top access power. Yeah, cast. Wow, this card's really good. Okay. Dang. And it doesn't even need to enlist to do that. And then I mean there are a bunch of reasonable 1 and 2 mana spells to play. So like if it does find something in the top 2 cards, like so I'm looking at this no enlist, it is still actually a pretty reasonable card. Like it's still decent. A 3 mana 2/3 is a little underpowered, but then it's not a 3 mana 2/3. It has enlist. It'll be attacking as like a 4/3 a lot of the time, and then you'll like look at 4, and basically it's like it's a kind of a gamble. Like this card's going to be like really fluctuating on how effective it is game to game. Some games you're going to like play it, you're going to have some enlist, you're going to hit your spells, it's going to just completely annihilate your opponent. Other games you're going to play it, you're either not going to have enlist or you're going to do the enlist thing and you just won't find anything and it won't be anything more than a 2/3. So it's a little risky. I think it's high power enough though that I do want to pick it, and I would just try to make sure that I'm picking up like Flowstone Infusions. I mean Lightning Strikes obviously. I would try to like stack the deck, so to speak, with effects that actually make this good. Because if this is hitting, it is one of your best spells. It's like on the anemic side if it's not. So you want to make sure it's hitting. I actually don't know which is better between the 2 blue uncommons here. Probably Frost Fist Strider, but I'm not even confident here. It's close because this is 1 more mana, but it's bigger, has the ward, and it locks your opponent's board down. Like man, I actually sound off in the comments what you think here. I don't know which of these is better. Once you know you have the 1 mana spells, Micromancer might take the edge, but it's like not hard to ensure that you pick those up, you know. I think Frostfist Strider probably, because you don't have to pick up spells to make it better. Like you could miss on this. Like if you first pick on this, you could miss on it. Even though when you've the nature of first picking cards is you can then set them up with your later picks, right? But that doesn't always work out that way, you know. So yeah, baby Frost Titan is probably enough better that that you want to go for it. Actually, might even be better than the Flame Sage just because this is risky. Though I would having not played with this yet, I would definitely try this and I would try to make it work. This is the kind of thing I'm pretty fine going in on. So interesting pack here actually. Really reasonable options. Even the commons are good. Cool. Let's address everybody. 7-1. I'm pretty satisfied with that. I didn't think that was a 7-win deck, but we got there. Like I said, applying pressure is really good. I had good removal suite. Yeah, pretty satisfied. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, I'm hoping to, like I said, I've been working a bunch, but I'm hoping to start putting these out at a more reliable rate. And I hope you'll be there. So see you next time.